Aloha and welcome to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I'm your host, Murph. I hope everybody has had a good week out there this week. My week has been kind of up and down, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. Can't complain too much. On the phone with me now is we had our VGA state tournament this past weekend, and I've got on the phone Hawaii's executive director of the VGA, Richard Shepard. Hey, Rich, how you doing, buddy?
Good, bud. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, first off, hats off to you and your team for putting on an outstanding state championship this past weekend.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. It takes a lot of work to put on an event like this, and we appreciate all our members being flexible, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, it's been hard, especially on all the golf courses, trying to get all group plays out and stuff like that, you know. So they really did an awesome job with that.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. And I know that we were supposed to play over at Kapalua on Maui, but like you said, due to this COVID stuff, they were going to have people quarantine and you had to take tests and everything. So it was awesome to avoid that situation. You guys got the tournament moved to Ko'olina here on Oahu.
Yeah, so the original plan was to have it at the plantation course at Kapalua. So myself and the team made the decision to hopefully push it back to June. We still have a great relationship with that golf course, and they said they'll be more than happy to host us in 2021. So it's more feasible. We saw it as more feasible for our members and cheaper, with the majority of the members being here on Oahu, to just host it at Ko'olina. And Ko'olina staff, man, did a great job making sure that we were all safe and, giving us everything that we needed to make it a successful event.
Yeah, Greg Nichols out there is a great guy to work with when you have tournaments or something like that going on. Also, the course was in great shape. A little windy, but you can't really complain about that too much. It wasn't any windier than what it's been any other time, but even though with the course being in great shape, my game wasn't up to par. And I got to give a congrats to Dan Messner, who beat me and won the trophy. It was nice trophies too. You guys did some great work on those trophies this year.
Yeah, man. They're just they were miniature national championship trophies. So the regional directors and the state directors got together and tried to, we wanted to bring the national championship, since it was canceled, back down to the state levels across the entire organization. So we made a replica national championship trophies, smaller, obviously, and got those distributed out to the winners.
Yeah, those were really nice. The tournament was really good. There was some pretty decent scores shot by some players. I wasn't one of them, but
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, especially with the conditions out there being really tough. That golf course really favors the trade winds. And with it being Kona winds all week last week and the day of the tournament, just changed the whole dynamic of that golf course. So we had a bunch of players shoot way under their handicap. I think the low we had was one over, and that was a shot by D. Cochran, who's almost 70 years old. So he shot just a little over his age, man. So it was put up a one hell of a round.
He played good. He played really good. Hey, so briefly, in a nutshell, kind of explain to the people what the VGA is.
Yeah, so the Veteran Golfers Association is a nonprofit organization for golf. What we do is we run a season, regular season play between March and June that consists of local club play at your state level. So here in Hawaii, we have we have island chapters on Oahu, Maui, and Big Island. Hopefully, getting Kauai up in 2021. Then we start our playoff brackets. So the playoffs start off at the state level, at the state championship, which once again, it's all flighted. The top five from each flight would move forward to the regional championship, and the first and second place finishers at the regional championship will make it to the national championship. And then once you make it to the national championship, everything's completely paid for. So, we're talking about hotel, practice round, clothing, golf clubs, bags, all the swag that you could think of, all the foods that you could eat. So you're treated like a PGA pro in a sense.
Wow,
so it's a really cool organization. It's only $40 a year to join, so it's really cheap compared to some of the other clubs, especially like the nationwide clubs and stuff like that.
right.
So yeah, man, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's a good organization. It's well ran, and there are a lot of great golfers. And I think it was started, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was started as a way to combat kind of PTSD and some of the suicide rates that were going up in the veteran community, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So Josh Payton, the founder of the VGA, was a part of a study in Walter Reed, and was using golf. He was injured in Afghanistan, so he was using golf as a rehabilitation tool through his injuries, and founded the VGA from that. And it was the number one priority of the VGA was to get the service members away from, the mentality of them being by themselves, so surrounding vets with like-minded vets on the golf course. So what we do here in Hawaii is it's like a mentorship program that we do out here. So we have people from the Korean War all the way through brand new recruits in the military. Also, we have family members and all that stuff too as well. So we're creating our own little golfing community. And, it's a place where any given Saturday, a brand new recruit could talk to a 30-year-old or 30-year, Army veteran from the Korean War and get that mentorship. And, especially if he or she's going through some tough times in their life, and get that mentorship and help to help them guide them through their careers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great program, and hopefully it is combating some of those mental health issues that some of the veterans are facing today. I know it's kind of interesting because, the four of us, me, you, David Ross, and Tommy Hollenbeck played today, and you and I being Army, and Tommy and David being Marines, on that one part 3, I was asking the guys, Tommy was in the Vietnam War, so he ate C rations, and I've only dealt with MREs. And so I asked him, which tasted better, the C rats or the MREs? And he said the MREs by far. So that was kind of interesting to talk to. Now, granted, this today wasn't a VGA event. It was the Beach Boys Golf Club that we play in. But it's interesting to talk to those older vets that went through things. I also work with Gerald Lucas, commonly referred to as Buff, at the Puka, and he was in the Vietnam War. So was his brother. And it's just interesting to talk to those guys about, what they did back then and how they feel today about stuff that occurred and if they're having any issues with it. His brother was one of the tunnel rats that actually went down into the tunnels. And
it's completely different, man. All the stories,
it's just crazy, some of the stuff they tell you.
Especially us here in Hawaii, we got every branch has a military base on Oahu. So our chapter is very lucky. So we have all 5 branches, or I guess 6 branches now with the Space Force, but all 6 branches formally recognized and represented here on Oahu. And you talk to some of these dudes like the submariners that go underwater on 90-day missions and don't see sunlight for 90 days, living in a tube. It's just nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if I could be underwater for 90 days straight, because they don't come up sometimes for a while.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It just puts a different perspective on everything. And we're all competitive, trying to get get our competitive edge off, through the game of golf. But at the end of the day, it's just like a giant family. We've created something that hopefully is sustainable, through hopefully the next couple of years.
Yeah. I really enjoy playing it, and I hope it stays around. What's next for the VGA? Now, obviously, due to the COVID situation, they're not going to have a national championship this year. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the national championship was canceled for 2020. But as of right now, I just got off the phone looks like we will be having a 2021 regional and a 2021 national championship, and Hawaii State Championship will also be at hopefully at the Kapalua Plantation Golf Course in June. So our season will begin formally on the first Saturday of March, run until the end of June. July 4th weekend, we'll be having our state championship. Sometime in August will be the regional championship. They're targeting Torrey Pines, the South Course, for the state or for the regional championship, and Trump Doral or Trump. It's down to 4 courses for the national championship. So it's either Bethpage, Trump Doral, Whistling Straits, or can't think of the other one. It just slipped my mind.
Oh, that's well, they're going to be quality courses wherever it's at. So I'm looking forward to it and looking to hopefully play better next year than I did this year.
Yeah, and then also this year it's or next year we have a couple guys, including yourself, that qualified for the inaugural Armed Forces Cup at Pinehurst number 2 for Memorial Day. So myself, you, and Dan Mesner will be representing the United States Army at Pinehurst for 4 days of golf.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I may have to take the podcast on the road and do some podcasting each day after the event. Talk to you and Dan and talk about the courses and how we're playing them at that time. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm really excited about it, as a matter of fact. So,
yeah, that's going to be a good time.
Yeah. What if somebody wants to join the VGA? What's the requirements for that?
So the biggest thing with the VGA is you have just have some type of military affiliation. So if you're in the military, or if you're a spouse or a brother or a sister or any type of family member that's in the military, you can join the VGA. You'll play in different flights. So we have 5 or 4 different flights, or 4 different sections with 5 different flights. The 4 sections are veteran, wounded veteran, and family member. So the family members play against all the family members. The veterans play against all the veterans, wounded vets. And then it's all broken down by handicap as well.
So you're flighted. You're flighted by your handicap.
So you're flighted by your handicap, and you're sectioned off by your, your designation of what you qualify for.
Okay. So anybody that their dad was in the military, or or a parent, a mother, or whatever, they would qualify to play in the VGA.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said it costs $40 to join for the year, and then you just
$40,
and then you just pay the $10 registration fee for the tournaments, correct?
Yep.
And then,
so it's $40 a year, $10 for every event that you play in. So it's, like I said, it's really cheap, plus the green fees that you play in. And then once you get to the national and regional level is going to be $200 for the 2-day events, which covers your 2 days of golf and your practice round, and the national championship. Everything is paid for, including your hotel and everything.
Wow.
So it's a really discounted way to get a PGA Tour-esque type of competition, especially when it's flighted and stuff like that too as well. So
right, and it sounds kind of like you also get treated like you're one also by the course in the tournament.
Yeah, and it's every year it's at a quality golf course. 2018, I made it to the national championship, which was held or hosted at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. Well, it was a dual national championship. So for day 1 was at TPC Harding Park, where they just played the PGA Championship this year.
Right. And
day 2 was at the Olympic Club, where 2028 the Ryder Cup's going out there, and the U.S. Open's going out there in 2029.
Nice.
So it's we play really good quality golf courses at the regional and national level.
Right.
So it gives our guys a great experience too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to, hopefully I'll make it that far next year. Let's take a break real quick, and I'll come back. I got a couple more questions for you, and we'll be right back after this. All right. Welcome back, everybody. On the line with us tonight is. Hey guys, I got to tell you, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you how. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Not only that, but Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other sites. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Richard Shepard, Executive Director for the State of Hawaii for the Veterans Golfers Association. We're just talking about the tour and some of the stuff that's going on. Richard, what's going on for 2021? Do you guys have any plans yet?
Yeah, so we're looking at hosting 24 regular season events, 8 on Oahu, 8 on Maui, and then 8 on Big Island. So we'll have 2 events each month between March and June. We'll start our off-season program building to 2021 later on this month in November. So we'll also have an off-season between November and March to keep all our active members and all our new guys coming out and playing golf. And we'll be going to after the season's complete, we'll be going to the plantation course for our state championship, crowning our state champions, and then having the inaugural Aloha Cup, which will be kind of like a 2-day battle of the islands, Ryder Cup style format, which will put the veterans from each island against each other on 2 different golf courses, which will be a pretty cool experience for our members that don't make it to the regional level. And then after that, regional championship, national championship, and then in between the national and regional championship, we have the Memorial Cup. So we have a lot of good golf coming up in 2021.
Nice. And are you guys on, is the VGA on, well, I know that it's on several different social medias, but if somebody wanted to join, how can they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, so you could just go on to vgagolf.org. That's vgagolf.org. Sign in, and then you would hit member info, and I'll give you all the information there. You'll find my email, and once you sign up, it'll direct you directly to your local state chapter. And then we're also on Facebook at VGA Hawaii, and then also on Instagram at VGA-Hawaii as well. So we have many outlets that we use for our organization.
Okay. And if during this off season, you said from like November to March, I know that there's times that you guys get together and play golf somewhere just to stay in some type of golf shape. If like somebody was thinking about joining next year and they wanted to come out and play with you guys, are you guys posting those dates or anything like on Facebook or anywhere? How can they find out if they're available to come and play with you guys sometime to check it out and see if they're if they like it?
Yeah. So if they're an active member, our off-season program will have we'll be destroying out information through email, and then if they're not, if they follow us on our VGA-Hawaii page, which is our social page, myself and our staff will post all available tee times that we have, which is pretty cool too, because it gives some of our we have a couple members that belong to private country clubs, and it gives some of our members an opportunity to go out there and play there. Yeah, and you don't have to be a member to be on that. You don't have to be a member to come out and just play with us, man. Just come out and have fun, see what we're all about.
Yeah, I was going to say they could just get on the Facebook page and leave you guys a message asking if you got room to play the next time you guys go play and where and what time, that kind of stuff. And yeah, you're right. Tyler's a member of Hawakale, so we've been getting to play there a few times with Tyler hosting us. So that's been pretty nice. Okay, well, I think we've covered everything about the VGA without getting too in depth. I do have one more question for you, and this
Yes,
is
sir.
kind of just a personal question. Would you rather have a hole-in-one or a double eagle, and why?
Double eagle, I think.
Okay.
I have 4 hole-in-ones, and I have 0 double eagles.
Well, yeah, then that
So
would be the one.
Yeah, that's kind of one that's eluded me. Funny story. I was 16 years old playing in California. It was Diablo Creek, 290 yard downhill blind tee shot, par 4. I was playing with my buddy who was 16. He completely slices it over the trees. We think the ball's lost. He hits another one, walks up to the cup, taps in for his double or whatever it was, and pulls out his first ball, which was on the bottom of the cup for double eagle hole-in-one.
So you guys didn't see it in, yeah. That's how
Exactly.
I kind of got my double eagle was it was on an uphill par 5 and I didn't see it go in. So, well, Richard, hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And
Okay.
I will see you next week at Pearl Country Club for the Beach Boys.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you for having me on, buddy. You have a good week, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, Richard. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Richard Shepard, Executive Director for the state of Hawaii for the VGA. Seriously, if you guys are looking to get into a little competitive golf, I would suggest you give the VGA a serious look, especially if you have military background or military connections as far as family members being in. You would qualify then to join the tour. And like I said, it's a bunch of great guys. We have a good time playing. So like I said earlier, guys, my week's been kind of up and down. We had our state tournament for the VGA Saturday. I did not play all that great. I started out halfway decent, and I thought I was going to have a good day, and it just went downhill. And Dan Messner was my main competition. And again, congrats to Dan. He was steady throughout the day. I was down 5 to him at one point, and I battled back on the back 9 and got it back to 1. But then on 17, he hit a good shot into the green and had like a 10-footer left and drained it for birdie to go 2 up on the last hole. I hit my tee shot kind of high, 3-wood off to the right a little bit. If you're familiar with Colina, there's a tree off the right side in the rough. And I hit my 3-wood a little high, and I was short of that tree, so I had to try to hit a punch shot under it, and ended up hitting a tree and then losing a ball and then hitting it in the water. It just was a horrible hole. So I was just disappointed and mad at myself for the way that I played. And Dan just played great. I mean, well-deserved win, Dan. Great job. Then I had to play Sunday for the Fia belt, which I lost 3 weeks ago to Joe P. It started raining, which was fine. I don't mind playing in the rain, but I just think my attitude, just to start off, because I was still dwelling, which I've preached on this show before. You can't do that. You can't dwell on a bad hole or a bad round. You got to let it go. I think that still played a part in my mind, and we're playing, and I'm missing putts that I should be making, and I hit a ball OB, and it finally just got to me. I couldn't do it anymore. The 6th hole, I hit my tee shot. It went OB, and I just took the card and the money for the Skins game. I gave it to Joe P. and told him I was going to leave or I was going to break something. And I didn't want to go that route, so I just left. I went home. I came home, tried to meditate a little bit and to chill out, and took a nap. And I woke up feeling pretty good, feeling better anyhow. And I knew that I had to play today for the Beach Boys. And I almost just called him and told him I wasn't going to play because I didn't want to carry on that same, which I didn't feel. I didn't feel like I was still mad or anything, but I just didn't. I wanted to take a day off. But then I remembered that I had to play Tommy Hollenbeck, who's been on the show. I had to play him for our club fall championship. And so I couldn't not show up. I had to go or I was going to forfeit. So I go, and right off the rip, I gotta give Tommy 16 strokes. My handicap for the day was a 1 at that course, and his was a 17. So I'm giving him 16 strokes. We start playing, and I'm playing pretty decent. Started out with pars, got a birdie, a couple more pars. I finished even par on the front 9, and then on the back 9, I had 3 birdies in a row. And then I got another one on a par 5. So I end up shooting 68 for the day, which made up for the horrible weekend that I had as far as golf is concerned. But like I said, I've preached that on the show before, that you got to let stuff like that go, and you can see what happens when you don't. It ruined my next day completely. I didn't quit because I was playing bad. I mean, sort of I did for that reason, but I mainly quit because I didn't want to, number one, break any equipment because it's expensive to repair. I didn't want to have a bad attitude and be not a good sportsman or even fun to be around. So I just decided to leave because I didn't want to bring everybody else down. I just didn't want to continue being mad and breaking something. So, I mean, it's hard to do. This game is hard mentally. You have to let stuff like that go, or it's just going to eat you up. And I did let it go. I mean, I was fine today. I didn't even think about it today. And I end up having a good round, so. Okay, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back after this. This podcast is brought to you by Smart Boy Studios, the best studio and artist collective out of the state of Ohio. Smart Boy Studios provides recording, mixing, and mastering services, as well as any other audio post-production you need. Whether you're looking to put out a new single, put together an audio book for your bestseller, or make your podcast the best it can be, visit www.smartboystudios.com today. Picasso, an artist on Smart Boy Entertainment, just dropped his new album, Suburban King, The Story of Westerly Drive. Available on all streaming platforms now. Physical copies are also available on the Smart Boy Studios website. The album features Grammy-nominated writer Troy Hayes, music from all Smart Boy Entertainment producers, and some of the best vocal talent from the Midwest. Suburban King tells the story of Picasso's youth, moving from the inner city to a suburban neighborhood, and the trials and tribulations of adolescence, racism, and adapting to a new environment. Search Picasso, that's D-C-A-S-S-O, on your favorite streaming platform, or visit www.smartboystudios.com to check it out. If you'd like to support Smart Boy Studios and their artists, visit threads.smartboystudios.com to check out their merch. They have hoodies, hats, shirts, and more. All right, welcome back. Hey, if you guys have any questions or topics you want to discuss, please shoot me an email, murphsplace808@gmail.com. murphsplace808@gmail.com. If you guys have any questions, or you can even log on to the Anchor website where my podcast is hosted and leave me a voice message there. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to discuss. I hope everybody has a great week out there this week. I plan on having a good week and hopefully playing some good golf the rest of the week. We will see you guys next time on the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. Aloha.